Me and Josh know when we're recording.
Oh,
just
so you
didn't.
guys just left me out?
No, we just was ready to go.
You know, I feel like the reverse Three's Company on this podcast. You guys know about Three's
Just told your
Company?
age. You just told everybody how old you are. I've never seen Three's
I'm
Company.
too hood to know.
Three's Company was my stuff. It's about Jack. I think it's Jack Tripper.
You
So
definitely
this
know.
is
You
an
know you
all-white
know.
cast?
Yes.
It sounds that
Sounds
way.
like it. You said Jack, I'm like,
You didn't know about Three's Company? Jack, Janet, and Chrissy.
No.
I named my first car out of college after Chrissy Snow.
oh shit.
She was a
That's
blonde.
unfortunate.
Wow.
It was like these roommates. It was two girls and a guy, and they were roommates. But their landlord didn't allow it, so Jack had to pretend like he was gay in order to stay in the apartment with the two girls. You guys, okay?
I've heard of
Company sounds good, Erica.
I've heard of it, but I
I'm
know
familiar.
nothing of it.
I'm too thug.
Wait,
I know
how
about
old
this
are you?
situation. I'm 34.
Oh, I'm the youngest.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were in your 20s, girl.
I think so.
Dang.
Yeah, so let's get this going. Since y'all heard the other voice, welcome to another episode of He Said, She Thinks. I'm one of the hosts, that guy Rich, and then I have to my right the beautiful, the one and only.
Erica Carter.
What's your IG tag though? You gotta do this branding. We'll get this right.
Okay, so
I need both of them.
I have two IGs. If you had to pick one first to follow glam.lux.fitness. That's Lux with an E at the end of it. And Erica Miss Carter.
There it is.
Because
Say what
it's
it is.
Erica Miss Carter if you're ...
Okay, Janet.
Miss Carter is nasty.
I like that.
All right, Janet. And of course, I got my guy to my left, the one and only serial entrepreneur.
Yeah, this is your boy Simmons. Simmons _ the creative. Follow your boy SXMMNZ _the THE _creative CREATIVE. Yeah.
My man put that late night
Okay,
radio voice on.
Right?
Wow. He's trying to make sure y'all slide into his DMs again. He's running it back. And this episode, we have our first guest, which is exciting. Because that's going to be one of the premises of our show. So we're going to bring on another guest to have another voice added to the conversation. And if the guest is dope and you guys like the person and we vibe with them, we'll bring them back.
And we're going to balance it out for the
Balance it
women.
out.
It's always most likely going to be another woman.
Most of the time, yeah.
You know,
most of the time.
so
So
just to balance it out.
So this is
Erica
like
won't
a-
feel attacked.
So this is cool because you get to the guest that we have now. She gets to forever go into the history books.
But yeah, I made history
Yeah, you
today.
make history. 'Cause again, this is gonna be popping one day, so you're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh!" But I was the first guest ever on that show.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have some credit for the success that we
And
got this.
continuing guests to come because everyone's going to love her.
All right, we're
That's
gonna see.
right.
She's saying that because. So go ahead and introduce yourself. We have.
Nika, Erica's really good friend. We've been friends for years now, so more like family now. So I'm excited to be here. Lovely Nika with 2 A's, LOVELYYEKAA, and then also follow my business page, Bombshell Beauty Brand spelled normal. And I'm ready and I'm excited.
Let's go. Give it, round of applause. We go round of
Our
applause. I
first
like it, I
guest,
like it.
and she's a Scorpio.
Oh yeah, that too.
I'm
We're
not
both
sure why
Scorpios, so you got
Here we
an
go.
October Scorpio, me, and then you got your November Scorpio, Erica.
So-
It
Erica.
always matters.
So is it true what the memes say to where they talk about how like October or Scorpios are pre-surgery Kylie Jenner?
I feel like I made the
Scorpios
cut. I don't agree with none of that. I just feel like I'm a Scorpio gang.
Nika's a Scorpio. Scorpio. It don't matter if she's October, November. She's a
I'm a Scorpio.
Scorpio at heart, and we'll leave that for question. Like
I was
what
on
that
the
means.
Aries gang, so yeah.
Aries. He like really reps Aries like that.
You already know what it is. Fire sign. Drop hot fires. Dyline. Spitting hot
Dylan. Top 5. Dylan.
Spit hot fire.
Let's go. All right, we're gonna jump into this because so right now, of course, obviously the Olympics are going on, and I think that this is just an interesting discussion to hear everybody's opinion. because in my opinion, from what I'm like, when it comes to the Olympics and stuff, I get super excited over like just a couple of events. Obviously track and field, like the relays and stuff, and then gymnastics. And I think it's because, you know, when you watch like a sport or something like that, and it's something that you know you can't do, so when you see other people do it, you like admire it, because I just know in the world I can go on a balance beam and flip and do all the stuff they be doing. So I'm like, oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
And then so watching Simone Biles over the years, she has been obviously the best gymnast that
The GOAT. She's the GOAT.
She's the GOAT. She even put GOAT on her leotard.
Yeah.
So now my question is, just to try to understand, because what she did was she, of course, qualified to compete for all the team events and all the events that she wanted to be in. But she decided to say, you know what, my mental health is not right, so I can't compete. But that happened after she started off I think it was like I forgot what event it was, but she started off one of the events. She messed up. She didn't have like a perfect score. And then all of a sudden she's like, you know what, my mental health is not in the right place. I can't compete. So my question to you guys is just like, what are your thoughts on what's supposed to be an elite athlete pulling back from competing because she's not okay mentally?
So, should I jump in? Or
Sure, go for it.
So I was watching First Take the other day about Simone Biles, and basically, like, even just following the internet, like, a lot of people got something to say about her not wanting to compete. And it's like, oh, like, you just, like, basically they're trying to say that she's flaking out on the USA and blah, 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 blah. But it's just like, yo, like, if you got something to say, why don't you get out there and do it? Like, somebody mental health shouldn't be the one, like, you should never, when somebody's saying they're dealing with mental health issues, you should never have to question that. Like let them, if they feel like they need to pull out and deal with whatever that they're dealing with, regardless of like however it might perceive to be. Because perception will say like, oh, it's like she messed up, blah blah blah. She's just pulling out because this, that, and the third. But you never really know what's going on. Like Sha'Carri Richardson, like she just lost her mom. Was it her mom?
Yeah, it's her mom.
So like, you never really know what's going on behind closed doors. As far as like athlete and competing at a high level like she's doing, like it takes a lot of discipline and it can be stressful. You got to cut out like the average stuff that people was doing, going out partying, having fun, enjoying social events and stuff like that. Like, you don't get to participate in that. You have to be disciplined in your practice and stay the course, while you get to see everybody on the ground like, hey, Liddy, there's all that shit.
I feel that, but so I hear that.
Wow. That was actually real. I resonated right now with what Josh just
SAT
said.
word.
Only because I wasn't a professional athlete. Like,
Talk that then. What did you do professionally?
I was a professional figure skater,
Okay.
and I represented the United States, and there is a lot of pressure with that. Oh my gosh, like, after you just saying that, I'm like, I don't know, I felt like a connection to maybe what she might be feeling. It's a lot of pressure.
Being an athlete, because I grew up playing basketball and football, so I didn't really make it to like that high of a damn level. I just had an infinity of playing sports or whatnot. But I understand just by analyzing people and what the culture entails, like being a high-level competitor.
But so talking about basketball, if LeBron James, so we in the finals, because that's what the Olympics is, right? It's the finals. This is it. It's game 7, because that's what the Olympics is. You get one shot.
Yeah.
LeBron comes out, plays the first quarter, and then tells the coach, hey, you know what? My mental health not right. I can't finish the game. Y'all telling me that the world is not going to criticize every single move after that he makes?
I put it like this to you. So LeBron James, we're going to keep using him as an example.
Yeah, let's keep it on him.
So when he decided to take his talents to South Beach versus letting the NBA dictate where he's going to be at, because historically the NBA, them like, it's either like, you don't even know if you're getting cut and getting traded off.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So like he set the precedent. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I've been drinking, so never mind. But he set that bar to like, yo, I'm gonna take my career in my own hands. Like, cause y'all out here just moving in any kind of way and just kind of fucking us over, and then we got to figure it out as we go. So when he decided to leave Cleveland, come back to Cleveland, go to the Lakers, and it's like, can you really be mad at somebody that's choosing their best interests? You know what I'm saying? Like, because they don't care about you.
But he's still
You know what I'm saying?
performing, though. So, like, this, in this particular
performing
case.
or not, though, like, he still have, like, if it's within the guidelines, because there's certain rules and principles you can't do.
Mm-hmm.
If it's within the guidelines, like, hey, like, at this point, I feel like my mental health is just like, I'm dealing with way too much. Who are we as people to tell somebody, like, you don't have the right to shut up and dribble?
But
So
that's.
I'm with.
Go ahead.
I just feel like she's not LeBron James. He's not Simone.
Facts.
So the way
Facts.
that's just period. So the way that LeBron James may handle a loss is how he's going to handle a loss. How
Facts.
she's going to handle a loss is how she's going to handle a loss. So if she feels like she didn't perform so well, maybe that's what caused, yes, her to feel like I'm struggling now. I'm beating myself up. Now I'm suffering some mental health and I cannot continue. I don't want to mess up more.
Facts.
So I'm pretty sure she thought about what she was doing before she came out with that message that I'm out because I'm taking care of my mental health. I'm pretty sure she thought about it before she did. But the bottom line is, she's Simone, that's Simone, and that's how she's gonna deal with her loss.
But so in my opinion, what makes an athlete elite is that they're able to deal with those type of pressures.
Well,
so
she
it's like,
ain't elite then. If I'm a fan, and that's what it is. That's on her. LeBron is elite, right? That's why people love him. So she's not elite.
But the thing is, like, going back to what you
I
were
wasn't
saying,
okay. So I like this. We here. I like this. We
Dang,
here.
Nika like that.
The conversation. I wasn't expecting that.
She ain't
from
ready
nobody.
for it. Like, I don't know.
She's
She's
Oh,
not mentally
it's a
ready
lesson
for
learned. Like,
I
she
wasn't
gotta
expecting
learn.
that either.
I'll say this because, like you said, like, everybody deal with different, like, problems
Yeah, I hear
differently. So it's like, everything is subjective.
But if
You know
you're
what
an
I'm saying?
athlete,
Like,
you have to be
but I get that.
proactive in terms of you know what this comes with.
I get that, but at the same time, it's like I said, like, it's subjective. So it's like, what's elite to somebody else, what's elite to one person, it might be a different situation to somebody else. So people looking at me like, yo, like, you doing like 100 things out here in these streets, and they be looking at me like, I don't understand how you do it. I'm like, this is every day. Like, it's whatever to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's subjective at the end of the day, like, how I look at it.
But coming from Nika's point of view, I think, like, you're trying to say, like, she knew what she signed up for.
She knew.
At the end of
for
the
me,
day.
it's a loss, whatever. Like, if you're trying to be this elite athlete, then you know you cannot go out like that. Well, you should know that. So
Yeah.
you went out like that. You couldn't handle the heat when it got hot. So, bye. Like,
I mean,
this
that's
is
true,
what
too.
you have to
That's-
deal with.
See,
She has to learn
But
from this, though. She has to learn.
That's my thought on it too, though. So we on the same page.
But-
this whole people with mental health, they gotta deal with it. I get mental health is a big deal.
It is.
However, again, like you guys know from the last episode, I still work at a job. If I call my boss and say, you know what, I just need like a mental health day, I gotta take off. Who paying the bills? Like how like they gonna be like, okay, cool, take the rest of the year off because you're fired. So it's like it's interesting when these athletes
For different fields, there's different rules.
It
though.
is. Because, like, my thing, okay, and this is, like, the empathetic part of me. I'm just like, we really don't know the We
And
really don't know the
And that's the key to it. You don't know
backstory.
what she's going through.
It
I hear
might be
that.
something that wasn't publicized. It might be something where she was like, really like, I'm gonna lose my brain right now. I'm gonna lose myself.
heard
I'm not
something
gonna
about that.
survive
I don't know if you guys heard this story.
if I compete.
There was this crazy story about how she has like
ADHD
yes.
pills.
And she was taking
Medication.
ADHD pills and medication. I think she was taking like Ritalin or something similar to it. But in Japan, they don't allow it for therapeutic use, I guess you can call it. I think that's what the classification is, so that you can take it for like a sport.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't allow that in Japan.
Yeah.
And the Olympics are in Japan, so she's been offered medication for a while. But then that leads me to go towards like, well, is she elite because she been taking she been on pills, or like it just makes everything a little bit more interesting.
Okay,
and
so
intricate to me.
there's nuances. So like
Yeah.
with sports like the NBA, NFL, for the longest, marijuana wasn't legal. So there's been a lot of movement as far as like legalizing marijuana in the sports field, because it's like, if you don't, but aside from marijuana, you're gonna be taking pills like painkillers and all this stuff, like Norcos, like all this like crazy stuff that fucks you up for the long term, versus something that's a little more organic that you can take that eases your muscle pain, and you're not really like messing your body and your mental up taking all these pills or whatnot. So for her, like if she's taking certain medication that's legal over here per se, and it's helping her like keep a sane mind, like that shouldn't, it doesn't matter. It's not steroids, it's not a performance enhancer.
Is it? But it kind of is though.
Like cognitively, it keeps her steady and it helps her think. Like chemical, like everybody is wired differently. Like when it comes to chemical balances, like some people, they're ADHD, like can't do caffeine, they can't do this, can't do that, and the third. So I'm like, I don't look at it as a hindrance. Now, if it was something that physically, genetically.
But if I change your mental, so like I've never personally tried the, what is it called, Adderall, that people be popping. Like I know athletes that be taking Adderall because they'll go to the gym and be in the gym for like 3-4 hours, don't even realize what happened because they just zone out. So if she's taking Adderalls or whatever medication she's taking to focus up, it's like, do you attribute all her success to that? And now all of a sudden she can't get this enhancement that forces her to focus, and now she like Nika said, she not elite no more all of a sudden.
Well, don't get me, I don't want to sound like I'm not sensitive towards mental health, because I am. But I just feel like before you start something, you know yourself, you know your health, whatever it may be. So she should know how her body is going to react if she doesn't have a certain medication. So it's just kind of like, hey, if that's the choice that you made, it was bad timing. Like to say now, like I'm having mental health issues. It was just bad timing in my opinion. So she chose to put that out there under those circumstances. You're in the middle of doing your job. So
that's fair.
That makes sense, because I feel like I feel betwixt between the two. Like
betwixt.
Yeah, betwixt. That's actually like biblical.
Her timing was, I won't call it bad
like
timing.
I never heard that word.
Betwixt.
No,
like,
again, hey, Erica out here with her SAT work. Dropping knowledge.
But literally, like,
spell it.
Like my heart feels for her, because we don't know what she's going through. I told Richard the other day when I was watching her, I'm like, yo, she looks really, really stressed. He's like, no, she's not stressed. And I'm like, no, I could see it. Because I just could feel it. Like I could feel her energy. Like she
That's
just
the
felt
Scorpio
stressed.
in her.
It's the Scorpio in me. I'm clairvoyant. Like low key.
Your Mercury retrograde.
Mercury is not in retrograde anymore, so things are back to normal. Just putting that out there. But I feel like too, she you have to count the cost for what you sign up for.
Exactly.
And you're representing the country. It means, like you said earlier, Josh, like sacrificing like having a normal life. It does mean sacrificing doing what all your peers are doing. She's 24 years old. Like what you signed up for, like there's a cost. Like you have to sacrifice something. And I feel like she I support her mental health, like her break. I don't judge her, but I also think that she could have pushed through that. Like
because it was convenient.
She could have. I won't say
convenient.
that. It might seem that way, but you don't know what she's going through. But I think that because of she knows the cost and because she knows what she signed up for, she should have been like, I know what being in my position means. I have to fight, because her other teammates have to pick up the slack.
Yeah, but also too, because I just look at it again. I'm from that cloth of like the Kobe Bryants and the Michael Jordans of the world, to where it's like when Kobe, I'm sure Kobe Bryant went through a lot. He went through a whole rape case. And my man would go to court in Colorado, hop on the PJ to get back to the game, to make the game the same day and play through it.
But he did cheat on his wife, and that's what that stemmed from. Just saying.
We're talking about the mental strength.
If he shouldn't have cheated.
But that's how hey, so imagine all the stuff his wife was telling him on the way too. Like, oh, you going through this right here, and you still about to go play for a game? So it's like, there's a lot going on. So what I'm saying is that, like, that like aspect of him pushing through and still performing.
Doesn't
I
it's
feel
not the
like
same.
men hustle different. Like, I feel like women hustle as hard as men, if not harder, but I feel like the hustle is different. So I feel like for men, it's more of like, I gotta do this, like I have to, this is what I'm focused on. Like when men are focused on their hustle, and I feel like women are more nurturing. So if we're going through something mentally or whatever it is, we're more prone to be like, hold on, time out, pump the brakes.
That's a good
What's
point.
wrong with me? So that's different, because I just have
That's a
noticed
good
that
point.
men hustle different than women.
And women feel more.
Yeah.
We feel more emotion.
Yeah, so I'm like, because as you brought up Kobe, so I'm like, towards the end of his career, like he got the Achilles.
Yeah, and he went and
injury.
shot the free throw.
He shot, but the thing is, like, it got to a point, like, I don't know if you watched his post career interviews. It's just like it got to a point. It's like, you know what, like, I can't do it no more. So this might be Simone's point where like it might not be like, you know what I'm saying? Like it
Nah, I
might be
hear
her
you.
breaking point.
But she
Like,
was supposed to shoot the free throw.
But
Supposed
this is
to,
also an
Bruh,
Olympics
and
and the
and
pandemic.
the thing at the end of
That's
it,
what I'm saying. Kobe shot the free throw. He knew he wasn't that guy anymore. He finished the season out, dropped 60, and then retired.
And but the thing is, in the end of it all is like she had to make the decision. Like, do I want to go out like this? It's a tough decision.
That's what I was saying.
And at the end of the day, it's like, hey, if you can live with that,
Go ahead.
That's where it gets
You know what I'm
interesting
saying?
because she's 24, so most likely this is her last Olympic event. But to me, it's like it's like the captain of the ship though. Like if you really the GOAT. But I guess it's interesting though, because sometimes you want to go out on top, and then technically with her not performing, we're not seeing a bad performance from her, so she's going out on top. But at the same time, she was supposed to be able to compete, so it's just interesting.
But I think Simone Biles proved everything that she needed to prove, and I think
agree with
that
that.
she
listen,
is
I got
the
hella
GOAT.
money. I'm cool.
Hey, I
Yeah,
agree with that.
and
I
she-
wish
Fuck all
that she
that.
would have never ever showed up in the first. Like I wish she would have said, you know what? I've already been dealing with a lot through the pandemic. I'm going to be there for Team USA, but I'm not going to compete in
But
the
it's
event.
you don't know how hard that might have been for
She
her
probably
to
just
say
wanted that
that.
last little check. Like, let me get on. Like,
But she might have been
You know?
trying at the same
I ain't
time.
about to leave no money on the table.
She might have been trying to do it for other people because she did make a statement that it's. She made a statement basically saying that, like something to the extent of it's like she's doing something for the entire world. Like it's not for her, it's for other people, and she could have had it been at her breaking
I'm gonna
point.
go. You know what I'm gonna do?
So it
I'm
is what it is.
With after this conversation, it makes me wanna. It reminds me to watch the. She has a show or like a documentary type of thing that she did on Facebook, where it's like it's Simone Biles versus Simone Biles or whatever it is, like me versus me, whatever it is. I'm gonna go watch it, and I'm gonna take a deep dive into her mindset and see if it changes my opinion.
But
I
let's
just
just acknowledge a queen, though. She did
No,
that.
you-
She
Respect her,
did,
respect her.
and
She
she
a goat.
made this decision on her own. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it was well thought out. So if she's good with her decision, I'm good with her decision. If she needs to take care of her mental health, then go ahead. And whatever comes after that, it's a learning.
Or it's like
experience.
Joshua saying to her, she like wanted to check and she was in the middle of a finesse.
You never know.
I don't even want to say
It,
that.
it could
'cause
be good.
Hey,
Like you never.
hey,
you
'cause
never
She
know
don't
what
need a
the-
check because she's
I don't know
good.
that.
She's straight.
I don't know, cause girls
And
out
she's
here
a little
finessing.
booed up right
But what if-
now.
but
She-
baby, you gonna have to lead this one. So you saw my segue skills though? Did you see that? Did you peep that? That was talent.
What
I don't know if y'all understand that. I segue that. We were talking about Simone Biles. You brought up maybe she was doing it for money, and I was like, oh, she's not the only woman out here finessing people for money. Y'all didn't peep that?
okay.
That's a,
I did, and
That's
then
a
you were like,
that's a B segue right there.
That's a good transition.
You know what I'm saying? That's beast to it.
yeah,
That's like
yeah,
radio
yeah.
101. And you know what I'm
know.
saying?
Only here after he says she's.
Only here he
thinks.
says she thinks, baby. We out here. So we're gonna roll right into this. into the Miss Queen Finesse herself, Brittany Renner. I don't know too much about this, but I do know the NBA draft just happened. And it's important for all of these young 18, 19, 20, whatever, what is it, like 18 from like call it maybe 23 dudes from that like the age group of the dudes getting drafted. Gentlemen, you got money. And there's women out here that know that you got money.
looking like a whole bag.
And their only objective is to secure the bag.
They're
And
trying to get
bruh,
that
you're
bag
not the
back.
bag. You're bag, if you feel what I'm saying. That's a double entendre. Don't ask how. It's the bag. Y'all gonna catch that one later and be like, oh, I get it.
Yeah, because I didn't get that one.
You're gonna get it later when you realize that the guy's bag is the girl's bag.
Yeah, I get it.
You feel me?
You're reaching a little bit.
That's not
but
even
okay.
a reach. Okay, whatever. It's not even a reach. So what are your thoughts then? What's
He
your
said she
thoughts?
thinks.
Okay, so I'm guessing that you're talking about the infamous Instagram sort of fitness queen herself,
Is she
Brittany
a fitness
Renner.
queen? I don't know what she
Bundles of
does.
Brittany on
Her
Instagram.
angles are good.
Let's just talk
said her
about.
angles
Can I
are
just
good.
give you the list of who she's dated?
Go.
She got a whole list?
She got a list.
Oh, she has a list.
Is she on?
You wanna hear
is
her
she
top
messing-
12?
Is she messing? She got a top 12.
Yeah. So
And you got a top 12. She beat. Remember, it was
let me
MySpace
give
top
you.
8, right?
Let me give you the first 11 leading up to her baby daddy. Someone named Jamal Murray.
Oh, he's a beast.
James Harden.
That's a beast.
Drake.
That's a.
Little Uzi Vert.
Hey, she was.
Someone named
shooting.
Caesar Chukwuma, I don't know.
who that
Ben
was.
Simmons.
That's the.
Damn.
Tyga.
Hey,
Chris
she was
Brown.
messing with some elite.
Tyga. Colin Kaepernick. Casey something. I don't even know his name. But then she had the baby with the young and talented PJ Washington.
Passing
So
the
she
poom.
How
actually
old is
messed
PJ?
up.
She passing the poom poom like
was
hot
born
potato.
in 1997.
How she messed up.
He's a baby.
He's a baby.
So he no.
Wait,
So
now
he
you said what?
He was born in 97.
I feel old as hell.
Yeah, me too. I was born in the 80s. I can tell you what the 80s like.
I can tell you what the 80s like.
She said you
crazy,
young.
right?
She said you
But-
young. You a baby, right?
She had a baby with PJ Washington, and word on the street is that she really scouted him. Oh, wait, something else.
How
said
old
he
is
was
Brittany
born in
Renner?
98.
He's 22.
She out here
How old?
passing it
Almost
like
30,
hot
right?
potato though. Like,
Yeah,
old
she's
is she?
almost 30,
So,
if not.
so he really got because
She
she tried obviously to. I'm positive, especially after was she with Drake before?
Man.
Was she with Drake before or after the baby? Was she with Drake before or after the baby? Can we confirm that?
Before.
Before Drake had his baby?
high mileage.
Before.
Yeah.
Oh, so she mad.
She's
then.
29.
Okay, so
We're
7-year
about the same
difference.
age, me and Miss Brittany.
Well, yeah, because I'm 4 years older than you, so what's an extra 5 to
But the real question is like, it's him. So he messed up though because obviously this is a chick that's been around the block. She spent the block a couple times.
But have you, did you follow her on Instagram prior to her dating PJ Washington?
I
Because
don't.
I did. I followed her because when I got into fitness, I was following all the hot fitness people, and she was on the list of top fitness models. But then I realized there's a such thing as a real
Bundle of
fitness
Brittany.
model versus an Instagram fitness model, like an Instagram model.
Oh, see, this is where he messed up. She got 4.6 million followers on Instagram. He knows he wasn't supposed to hit that raw.
Wait, what? What does that mean?
If she's been with Drake, so Drake is Drake. Obviously, we know that.
Real nigga activity.
So,
Wait.
So Drake.
Hold on, hold on. Nika look like she's itch. Go ahead. Go ahead. She ready to pull from the hip.
Everybody else finish
I'm looking at her.
Trying to figure out what this
first,
means.
and then I'll give
I'm just
my
saying. So,
spiel.
all right. So keep it a buck. Drake is Drake. So he was smart enough to not get finessed by her, but he ended up getting finessed. So that's why I was saying she messed up. Because Drake ended up getting got by the girl that he had. To
He
get with.
might not have gotten got. He might have been in love with her at a point in time.
No, he came out. He came out and said, "I got got."
But men don't tell the truth all the time.
No, he wasn't.
But you don't know him personally, so you don't know.
She was a porn star.
But he might have had
I'm
a
just
thing
saying.
for. You don't know. You don't know Drake.
True that.
Drake
but,
is sensitive, and he's a Scorpio too.
But I'm pretty sure that was just one of those nights where just split that.
Yeah.
Ah, shit. Got me.
Oops! I thought she was on birth control.
Like it was one of those type of situations. It was like
You
was
don't know
thinking
that.
You was thinking with the wrong head. You just gotta be honest.
I see what they did there. Another double entendre. We out here dropping bars. Let's go. Let's go.
Not really.
It's over your head. It's cool. But so my thought is that I guess the thing is she finessed him and she set him up because she was like, "Oh, you're in love." But this is like a note to all these young dudes out here that these girls don't really love you like they say they do. That's the Drake line. See that? That's a callback.
So we're gonna put it like this. So this is I like to call myself like the real big homie that the streets need, because you got a lot of people that's following big homies that's leading them wrong. So as far as maneuvering, especially as an athlete or entertainer, you got to pay attention about the company you keep. It both applies to your homeboys and both as far as like who you're getting intimate with, who you're dating or whatnot. So moving around in these streets, you got to be aware that there's a price tag on your head. Like, you look like a whole bag out here. So we got to be realistic about who you are and what type of value you bring and what you can bring to somebody's life. So some people's looking at you like, yeah, they genuinely like you. They want to see what's up and blah, 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 and build. Then you got some people out here that's like, they scamming. They're just like, hey, any way I can get up, I'm gonna do it. They don't care about having principles and morals and none of that. Like, they're just trying to get to it. So I always say, if you don't feed the wolves, you food. Like, you're gonna get ate.
That's a fact.
So you gotta pay attention to the people out here, because some people's gonna be wolves in sheep clothing. Get close to you, and then you get bit. So, of course, there's speculation here as far as like what her intentions was, but if you check the track record, kind of questionable.
She was only messing with people who was, so Ben Simmons, I know you might not know, Ben Simmons is that dude in the NBA. He's a max player. Yeah. Meaning he making, I don't know, call it $90 million.
He up there. James
he got a $90
Harden
million contract. There. James Harden, $90 million contract.
No, Drake and Trey Songz.
Trey Songz. Let's call, all these dudes she's talking to is max players. PJ Washington, not gonna lie, no idea who the guy is until 10 minutes ago when I Googled his name and found out he was 22 years old. He's not a max player, which is why I'm really saying he got, because the girl he's talking to is obviously trying to secure a bag from one of these high caliber dudes.
And you gotta pay attention, because if you paying attention and you really watch the streets, you know who's moving like that. Like, I don't understand why entertainers, athletes, and none of that, like, why they date the same 10 women. It's like, yo, like, the world is bigger.
It's
like,
probably the same reason that, no offense, no disrespect to my hubby, but if you guys had the chance to, you probably would date the same women too.
I wouldn't.
No, you say that,
No,
but if she was in front of you, like, I'm bundles of Brittany with my bundles of big butts, like, you guys would fall for it.
But this is the thing. There's a difference between wanting to, what happened?
No, what you're about to say.
There's a difference between wanting to date and just aesthetically being attractive to. So let's keep it 100. So there's a difference. So it's like, there's some people that's like, okay, I already know how you get down. Will I pass on it just as a man? Probably not, blah, blah, blah. But will I take you serious? Hell no, because I know what you're about, because you're about your bag. And that's cool if that's what you into. But it's like, it's about moving.
You're turning her down?
No,
I'm not dating her.
So here's the thing with Brittany. Here's the thing. We know that men that think are not going to date her. But this girl is nasty. She's freaky. Okay? So, any single man that can have who he wants.
Notice, Erica, she says single man.
Single man, yes.
Or married, who can get away with it.
Or married. Any man that is interested to want to know what this girl is about, because she puts it out there. She used to give oral sex to fruits and stuff on her Instagram.
See, this is all over my head.
So
she was part of that. What was that? The cucumber challenge.
Pique your
so
interest.
it's very tempting for men to want to know what she's about. So of course she has a long track record, but I feel bad for the poor dude, because he's a baby, and although the age gap is not that big, it is big for a man and a woman. Because
from a mental
standpoint, they're a little dumb. She looks good. Erica's showing pictures
over showing
of
pictures.
Bomb. She has a bomb. But
I ain't gonna lie, I'll beat, but I'm not wifing it. Like,
but you might get her pregnant.
But
I'm wrapping up.
He's wrapping up. extra
Rather.
tight. He might actually go get a vasectomy before he.
What
does
about
it.
you?
I might get
I'm
the
not
Ramos.
touching such a
The
thing.
Ramos. The
I got
Ramos.
bundles of Erica
shrink
over
wrap,
here.
whatever.
But I don't think that the poor dude was even thinking about like marrying her or anything. I think he was just enjoying her company.
Nah,
he thought
he
that
was,
they,
She
though.
played him.
No, I think he thought that they were in a committed relationship for sure because she played him, but I don't necessarily think he was thinking down the line like that.
Possibly.
And she manipulated the situation. She has a video where she said, women, if you guys want to get rich or if you want to basically not work the rest of your life, just NBA or NFL
So
player.
was that prior to
This
him
was
meeting
prior
her?
to her being with him. This
He
was
must have
prior.
missed that
This
one.
was not
God
after.
Yeah,
Damn.
she definitely put that out in the
But see, that's what I
video.
said. He messed up though, because those 4.6 million followers on Instagram should have told him something.
What? You can't
You gotta
be...
do your homework.
You gotta do your
When you
homework.
on that, when you're on that level, you gotta do,
You gotta do your homework. You gotta do research.
But I don't even think it's about him doing his homework because here's the thing. I'm pretty sure he had, just like when we as normal people date people, you have people in your ear like, hey, let me, like, I heard this about her, I heard that. So you don't think that people were telling him, his mom, his auntie, his sister, hey, haven't you heard about her, this whore, like, this is who you're dating? He had people telling him who she is,
That's
but
true.
they were in their own relationship, in their own world, and she got over on him. He's young, so there's nothing that no one else was gonna say to him that was gonna help him out. He was lost.
She made him feel like he was like a king.
She had a
When you
mission
put that-
and it was accomplished.
When you put that double grip twist guap guap on,
Okay,
it would have you
listen,
stuck. Like,
it's kind of like this. So if you notice, all of the men in her track record, they're not as young as him. So it's kind of like
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
So it's like this. You know when they say, I've heard the saying, why do men date women that are younger than them? I've heard this.
They can
and I've heard
program
why.
them, that's why.
Yes, I've heard a man say because she does not expect as much from me. I don't have to be on my P's and Q's with her. Because if I date an older woman, she gonna be on
she already
it,
been through some
questioning
stuff.
everything. Yes, so it's kind of the same thing, like with them, pretty much. She preyed on him, like he's not gonna really question my motives here.
She knew.
She knew.
I think she just slapped that double twist on him, and it was just a rap. Like, yo, I don't ever
So he
not
didn't care
want to
what
have.
nobody-
Josh, why are you imagining?
I don't ever want this feeling to go away.
I feel
Like-
like if Brittany Renner came in here right now, she could seduce somebody at this table.
That's false.
No.
I'm not gonna say my husband
You know what it
because
is?
I don't want to put. I
Nah,
don't
I
want to
think it's-
manifest that. But
But nah, it's the age
She
too.
could-
It's the age.
I think
Nah,
she
we went
could-
past that nonsense.
she
Like,
could for sure seduce Josh.
No.
dang, bro, she's trying to
Damn,
play.
Like maybe if
Goddamn.
like if it was like a party or
No
something
offense.
and drinks were involved and she was showing interest in you and only you, then yes, maybe you would.
She might even seduce Nika.
Shit.
She's bomb. Like, let's not downplay Bundles
She
of
looks
Brittany.
good, but
She's bomb.
But nah, so it's like that's where I think you're making a good point when you talk about the age of this guy, and I think that's where it plays a part.
Oh, poor guy.
Because when you have, like, that's why it sucks. That's why I'm saying the NBA draft just happened. So a lot of hopefully these young guys pay attention to this, and then you know what they need to do is move like LaMelo was. LaMelo Ball came in, was the rookie, high sensation. Instead of just tying himself down to one girl, he was like, you know what? I want all of y'all. And he's like, oh, he's dating like 7 different girls right now.
yeah.
Is that the best thing to do? No. But what I'm saying
He's like a young Nick Cannon.
He's like a young Nick Cannon, but none of them are pregnant, so he's winning in that aspect of it. And my
Nick
man
Cannon
PJ
kinda
was
started crying.
stuck because he wasn't paying attention to how these
But
people
you know
move.
what? A guy like
Because he didn't
PJ,
know no better.
I feel like this, like, part of me just wants to give him a big, huge hug and be
Oh, is
like,
that right?
it's okay. You got seduced by, like,
I mean, in that case, what you said, bundles of. I'm just-
This
no,
nigga
but
crazy.
honestly, I think of it like my son, like Carter. He's only 4, but I'm like, if a girl that was like much older than him came in and like did that to him, like, it's like something about my heart like just goes out for him. Like he
but
really.
she's not much older than.
But no, really, like.
But based on the dude
he
she's dating,
felt
she's
like
more
he was
experienced.
winning.
But it's
than
a
him.
it's a huge difference.
It
So,
is.
I have dated in that
Just say it, girl. Don't downplay it.
That age group?
athlete,
Oh, okay, I got you.
NFL
area
player.
and someone
Ooh.
younger than me. And it's just kind of like, if I wanted to trap that person, then I could have. But I'm not Britney. So
You got morals. That's morals and principles.
I don't know what
But-
I do know what she's about, but that's not what I was in it for. But
Yeah.
but there was the same age gap that they have. So I did see the difference. Like in my head, I'm like, we're not that much. I'm not that much older than him, you know. But why is he so naive? Like, you know what I'm saying?
You can see through it.
But there is
Experience.
such a difference, and then for me, it's just the money. It's the money. It's the attention that you get, the little verification that they get on Instagram that just makes them
Blue
feel
check.
like they have it all. And then it's like, if I want to, I could take it all from you, but that's not me.
So what? But what? So if you're in that situation, you're saying you're not Brittany Renner. However, what stopped you from saying, you know what? Let me secure
I'm a
the next
mom
18.
already.
So
I
if
already
you
know
weren't a
what-
mom, you would have been like, let me lock up the next 18 years.
No, I'm not saying
That's
that.
not
but
her
I think
character.
It's stupid.
first of all, that's not in my character. I'm a hustler on my own. So regardless, I don't know. Let's say tomorrow I started dating an NFL player. I'm not thinking in my head like, oh, I want his money. I want his money so I don't have to work anymore. That's not what I'm thinking. I always have to have my own. But that's my mentality.
See, that's what you,
respectful.
young
That's
NBA and
respectful.
NFL guys, that's what you got to look for. If a girl says, like, I don't have my own,
They
she
want
just
to
want
get
live
out
off
here
of
and
you,
hustle for
run.
themselves.
But the thing is, he trusted me so much. I think he saw through that I wasn't that girl. That I was not looking to trap him.
Some dudes, they want they want to have that. Like they'll flex their muscle as far as success or whatever. And it's like, oh, I can manipulate
That's
this
not
person.
it. That,
And he
so
probably
what
saw like he
happened
couldn't
was-
pull it off on you.
So I will say this: what happened was didn't work because of that reason. You now, because that doesn't impress me, your little blue check, your title as an NFL
And she called it
player.
a little blue check.
it is.
You know when somebody's hating, they be like that.
Blue check.
Because Nika like
But-
sees herself on such a level, like she could say that.
But
But you want to be
Blue
verified. You
check.
want a blue check on IG.
I don't
But
really care.
listen,
All I care is about the
basically,
blue strips.
because
Fuck
here's
that
the
blue check.
thing. Because those things couldn't impress me, I expected something more that he didn't know how to give because he was used to
'Cause he was a
women
kid still.
being
Caring about
impressed
that.
by this which you have. And for me, it was like I see right through it. I see who you are outside of all this, and there's a real person inside of you that we're gonna have to deal with in a relationship.
Respect that.
I don't care about that. So when I challenged him in that way, it's like, well, what can I give her now? Because I don't want what you have.
Yeah.
So it just didn't
it's-
work.
A lot of
I
times,
love that.
a lot of times, guys, like, we tend to not know how, and I'm to a certain extent. I'm not to the extreme, but we don't know how to be as emotional as far as compared to how women are. So a lot of times, guys they think giving is it compensates for that. It's like, I care, here's X amount of dollars, or here's a bag, or whatever the case may be. So we equate material things, and ultimately, especially as being a father, and just life in general, just teaching you learn that the most precious gift that you can give somebody is time.
Time and respect.
Time and respect. If you give them time, they love that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people, like, it's all about the experiences that you create in life. So, what y'all writing?
This is why I like the He Said She Things podcast, because we get to talk about real life stuff at the same time. And I told you on the first episode, we're going to unintentionally always talk about relationships somehow, just because that's the way life goes.
But it just tied into
But
that.
my wife is over here telling me that, oh yeah, Josh is right. Are you listening? You know, on another sticky note, hashtag facts. But it's true. Like, men, but that's why it sucks for guys like PJ Washington, because he's in a situation to where it's like he is giving of himself because he's interested in an individual. And and Brittany Renner, unfortunately, is not like how Nika is saying she is, to where she's not going to be bought. Basically, like, you can't just give me gifts and I'm gonna be cool with that. But Brittany Renner were probably like, oh, cool, I love this dude. Look, he's buying me everything I want. He's doing this, that, and the other. And like that aspect of a relationship from a guy's perspective, and if a girl's receiving it and she seems happy, it seems like everything's going good, and that's how he got himself caught up. And then, like, so that's where it gets really interesting from a standpoint of just like relationships.
I just really think that Brittany Renner has mastered the art of seduction.
No, because she couldn't seduce the bads.
I just think she's I don't think she's mastered seduction. I just think that she's openly sexual on her social media platforms, and that's going to entice any man. If I were openly about what I do and all that, I'm pretty sure all types of men will be in my DMs too. Like, what's up?
Like what, Nika?
That's
just curious.
I love keeping that part of me inside because that's what makes it fun and exciting. You know what I'm saying?
She's a Scorpio.
You gotta follow the roadmap and figure out where the treasure at.
Yeah, but
You gotta figure out where the treasure
Yeah.
at.
Okay, Josh.
It's not just laid out.
Speaking
there.
about like speaking about Instagram and stuff, so I was looking at the bundle of Brittany, her Instagram page. She has 9 pictures, and not one of them is of PJ Washington.
She used to have pictures of
She
him,
deleted
though.
everything.
She deleted them.
So he got the ultimate finesse. So she got 9 pictures. Now one of this dude, PJ Washington, and that like reminds me of this whole like Lil Durk situation. So I want to hear y'all thoughts on this.
The new Bonnie and Clyde.
New Bonnie and Clyde.
Busting back on.
And I think it's dope too. If y'all don't know what happened, Lil Durk is his girl. I don't know her name. You know her name, babe?
India.
India. So
if you listen to his music, you know
And
about
she's
India.
naturally beautiful, by the way.
She is bomb, and
Naturally
he
beautiful.
loves this girl.
So,
What
but
does India got?
I'm gonna tell you what she got. They sleeping in the bed. Somebody broke into the crib, and she turned. And then instead of her running into the closet and hiding or running away, she grabbed her 9 and started busting back too. She was a legit real life ride or die. So that's what she got. That's one thing.
But she's gonna have to pay for that eventually.
Nah, she a ride or die for real.
No.
With other I'm saying like maybe not that situation in itself, but he shouldn't glorify that. I guess you can say. Like I get the
But he
whole
didn't.
ride
I
or
don't think he
die.
glorified it.
Well, people shouldn't be glorified.
Yeah, like-
That's what it is.
Because
It's
I
the
don't
people. It's the
care.
people.
It's like my
'Cause
husband
he said something
glorifying
dope.
it.
No, I mean, I
Yeah,
think
he
it's dope.
did glorify it.
Yeah, I think it. 'cause
And I'm
think
like,
it's
I
dope.
just let him know flat out, I'm not India, so don't expect me to go get a gun and like.
I already know for a fact. You gonna be in the closet. I'm happy.
I'm gonna put Carter in the attic, and I'm gonna jump in
She
there
went all the way to
too.
the attic, bro.
So I feel like it's different. Like I've seen a video, right, where someone has broken into this woman's house and her kids were there. And obviously, like her husband or whoever had guns in the house. And I feel like if you have guns in your house, you should know how to use them. So if anybody broke
Say that.
into my house and my husband wasn't home, yeah, I'm using my gun and I'm gonna use it right. So I feel like that's
Dang,
different.
she said use it right. Like
Yes,
I feel like
I love
Hey,
you.
hold up, time out, y'all.
Somebody
Hey,
better
you
put a
ain't gonna
ring on
diss
it.
me
Hey, I
and
just want to
my
let the people
kid.
know I
She
felt that
holding the
difference.
fort down.
So Nika is sitting across from me right now, and she pointed the gun directly at me. And I want to let y'all know that I felt the bullet hit me.
Niggas
I
not
will
playing
protect
that.
my child, my family at all costs.
I got shot.
But if my husband is home and something like that were to happen, I will hope that my husband would redirect me. Baby, get back. I got this. I don't need you busting at the same time as me. I don't need that. I need you safe. I need you alive, and I don't need you catching a case.
Thank
I
you.
got it.
So-
You have to know when to
Yes,
step
Nika.
back.
so-
Yes.
I'm
I
not
feel that.
So-
1,000.
I-
set it off 2.0.
Yes,
So,
thank you. I might
feel-
die, but you
I
can live.
feel that, and I understand it, and I agree to a certain extent. I can just, me personally, I can understand the alternative because I feel, especially as black people, we need to really get out here and learn about firearms and safety and protecting our homes and stuff like that because there's a whole lot of nonsense that's going on out there, and I think we need to be. I don't want to get like too Malcolm X, but you gotta be ready for the revolution.
Man,
But,
facts.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know what's gonna go down out here, so I think. Like historically,
I got you.
Yeah, I'm like that. That didn't sound.
He was
right.
like, I'm not a comedian.
Historically, like men protect the home or whatnot. Nowadays, there's a lot of single women and a single parent women. So it's like it's really important to like to me at least. we need to erase that narrative on only the man should know how to use a gun.
Oh yeah,
You know
absolutely.
what I'm saying? So like a woman should be able to protect their home or whatever, because there's a whole lot of crazy weird ass people out here. So if somebody try to run up in your spot, you blam them just off sight. Like, hey. So like if the situation come, because like you look at these I don't want to sound like that guy, but I'm gonna go there. But you look at the white families or whatever.
Disclaimer:
like all their
this
kids,
is the thoughts and opinions of Simmons, the creator.
you look at the white kid, like the white families, whatever, and their kids know how to use guns and stuff like that. I'm like, we need to be on the
Nah,
same
that's
accord.
so true though. That's so
You know
real.
what I'm saying?
'Cause,
Like,
I had
so-
a football player who was 10, and he was like, he had missed a game, and I was like, "Where you going?" He said, "Oh, I'm going to the woods to go hunting with my grandpa." And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, "Oh yeah, I got my own gun and everything." I was like, "Hold up."
You know what I'm saying? So it's like we need to have we need to erase that narrative that not men, or women shouldn't be able to use firearms. So in a situation where like a little Dirk,
When it's
and when it's necessary, like we gotta hold the fort down. Yes, I want to protect my queen, like get back, but if the situation come down, like
White queen. I love that.
Well, yeah, I feel like okay, so
Why you look at
I feel like if his life was threatened,
Pressure.
like it was too much, and she felt like she needed to step forward to shoot back, then okay. But the way that I heard it, like it wasn't necessary for her to
Yeah.
come
But they
forward and
but they
start
survived, so I
shooting.
think it was necessary.
Well, now that she survived, yes, it's a story to tell. Now it's going to be looked at like, oh yeah, they're Bonnie and Clyde because she survived.
Yeah,
but
so it
had
was
she
necessary.
had not survived, this would have been a different
But
tune.
but if she didn't shoot back and they didn't survive, it would have been like, dang, she should have grabbed the other one and started busting back. So they survived. So
there's so many
therefore,
different ways the
I'm
stories
thinking about
can go.
my natural instinct.
But-
I feel like yes, I want to know how to use the gun. If my husband's gonna have guns in the home, yes, I need to know how to
You hear that,
use
babe?
them.
We gotta go to the
I
And
gun
I
range.
told
don't
you I wanna
mind
go
that.
to the gun
But if
range.
someone were to break in my home and if I like interacted with the person first, then yes, I would take that on.
Yeah.
But if we're seeing this person together or whatever it is, then I would expect for my husband to be like, you go, I got this. Grab the
I feel you.
kid, whatever.
No,
Protect our
that
child.
makes sense. That's my
There's
exit
different
plan.
nuances to
They're
it. So it's
young
just
to me.
like-
They're young to me. Like, I don't know.
They
it just
don't have
sounds
any
ghetto
kid-
to me.
they-
Like, it sounds
it's
very
like they're-
It's hood.
I
But
feel like
hopefully Lil
what
Lil
is
Durk
this? Like,
survived.
Low
a
key.
shootout? Like, I'm not.
low key. It might have been set up for Instagram.
I don't like it.
Nah, that's not a
Nah,
setup.
nah.
Lil Durk is out here really living that life
No.
that people rap about.
Act-
We'll see. It's okay.
I always say too much.
It's fine. We wanna
Oh.
I was bringing him up though for two reasons though. So one, I think that turned into a good conversation in terms of his girl being a ride or die and opinions on that. But also what
There's other ways to be ride or die.
Yeah,
No,
you
it's
don't
not.
have to shoot people to be
But I
ride or
think it
die.
was
This
cool,
is
though.
not a movie. This
but Lil
is not
Durk
a
is dope.
music
So this
video.
is, but this is why
It's
Lil
not
Durk
even
is
about
dope.
like being a music video or a movie. It's just about like how far are you willing to go to hold the fort down, like to really
And
hold
that's
the
where it
empire.
I'm
goes
not.
to-
If I have, but they don't have kids.
I don't say like.
I guess
not?
I'm thinking from a mom's
Yeah,
perspective.
like,
I'm not with this.
If
Like, I'm.
I have
No,
my
like, you
son,
should
I'm
never-
like, you could do this. One of us got to be
Because
alive.
No, and I agree with that.
No, but
I
let
agree
me
with
say
that.
this. I think this is why I'm coming from this instinct, because when I see, hear, or feel danger, it could be an earthquake. The first thing I think about or look for is my child. So I'm sorry, but that's not my first instinct. If my husband is there, my first instinct is going to be, you, the suspect, me, where is my kid? So I'm not thinking, I'm not programmed anymore to think like a single young person. Like I'm thinking about my child first.
but
if I'm home by myself, like I said, like you felt it, you better believe.
She pointed that gun again.
Right? Is that
I'm gonna need her to chill.
But like,
Energy.
circumstantial? It's
But like
right
you said-
circumstantial.
but like you said, like some
Said
people
it's
like
circumstantial.
some people like their like default is automatically like, let me protect my loved ones.
I've
Yeah.
seen
Regardless,
that.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Regardless if your husband is there, whatever the case may be. So I'm like, everybody got their own preset default.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
that's
saying?
true.
So it's just like, yes, like instinctual. I can't think of the word to say properly.
Instinctively.
Instinctively. That's what it is. I'm drunk. So, so
That brown.
instinctively,
That dark liquor give you energy.
that instinctively, like, yeah, like, let me, y'all go back over there.
Yeah.
Like you want to protect your husband, your wife,
But I'm not gonna.
your wife and
you
your
right.
kids or whatever the
you
case
right.
may be.
But I'm not gonna be mad if Erica went
And
and
that's
grabbed
what
the
I'm
other
saying.
guest.
Like, I'm not gonna be
But
mad.
don't expect that from Erica
I don't.
Carter.
But this is why I wanted to talk about it though too. You brought up some good points. That was cool to hear. Some insight, and I won't say that right now. I might say that later to close this podcast out. But I wanted to also talk about because Lil Durk also came out because he's a good guy. Granted, I can't tell you one Lil Durk song, but I
can.
Go. Tell me one. Go.
The one where he was
You
on
don't even
Drake's
know what's the name.
one.
Laugh Now,
That's Drake's
Cry
song.
Now
That's
later.
Drake's song. That's Drake. That's Drake.
Coily
He
Ray.
bodied Drake on that song,
No
by the way.
party, no more parties, but with Coily Ray.
Yeah, I don't. I'm off that. But I do want to
You're
say
old.
I am. I don't dismiss that or disagree with that. But he said that when he posted it, because everybody was talking about the situation, and he posted something that I thought that was pretty profound. He said that this is not, like, his relationship is not goals.
With India.
With India, he said that his relationship is love. And I thought that was dope.
He said we're just in love.
And I thought it was important because it's like, yeah, he said, yeah. What did he say? You have the
He
exact quote?
said, because, I being like on the pop culture thing, he said, it's not that we're relationship goals. We're just two people in love.
Yeah, and I thought that was dope because I feel like a lot of times
too.
people look at relationships
Yeah.
as goals, and
shouldn't.
they see and what they
Really?
see on TV and stuff like
It might not work for you. Like,
and not exactly because everybody's situation is different.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that J. Cole song, where he was like, "I want that Jaden that will love that ain't got to worry about if that's your kid love." But then we found out a couple years later that he might have had to worry about if his kids was his kids.
We never found that out. Jada slept with August.
Yeah, no, August Alsina look-
way after she
I
had
don't know.
kids.
August Alsina kind of look like Will Smith if you think about it.
this nigga's.
Hey, I've never thought of it that way.
No.
What I'm
the
saying is
same
that.
age.
with that
Just
hairline.
But what I'm saying is like that is the sad
I do
part.
like August.
He got one of my favorite songs.
I do like his music.
He got one of my favorite songs.
When he
just like,
came out with that entanglement song, that shit was trash.
Yeah, that was horrible.
He was
But
trying
got
to
a song-
capitalize, though.
But he got that
I
one song
respect
where
it.
it's like it's called I don't know if it's called Love or something like that. But it's like where he's like, "Ain't no love in me." I don't know. It's dope. It's fire. But I say that to say this, like, what's more, and then also bringing like the Brittany Renner situation up, where she ain't got none of this PJ Washington kid all over her profile. Is like, are you focused on relationships to where it's like, well, me and Erica's different, but I can backtrack a little bit. Even before we got married, I would post her on my social media page. One, because I don't think there's anything wrong with a guy posting the person that he's with on social media. But that also was 10 years ago, and I feel like the world is a little bit different. We're now.
In 2011, we did not have Instagram.
But we're still on like Facebook and stuff, posting
Okay.
each other. So
We like times are just different now. Like you don't post me that much, but I really don't care. I don't post you that much. On your
But you're
birthday, I do
there.
post you.
But you're there, is
I
what
don't
I'm
care
saying.
because I don't need that validation. I just think that times
that's
are
key
just
right there.
very,
Yeah, that's a good point.
very, very different than when you and I even got married. Because we got married in 2015. We were posting each other a lot more. But now my Instagram is more geared towards like my business and
But
building my brand.
do you think that people that are in relationships with people should post their significant other? What are your thoughts? The single people here.
So I feel like I don't think that there's any type of rule or prescription or whatever to posting your significant other if you're in a relationship. So I was in a relationship for 10 years and I would post him all the time. Majority of the time I wasn't happy and I was goals to other people. I was
See?
goals.
That's important.
I would be posting a picture of us and I would be so unhappy. We'd probably argue 15 minutes before I posted the picture. And then I have people underneath my comments saying, goals, oh my God, you guys have
wanna
been
be like
together
you.
for so long. I want to be just like you guys. And I just went along with it. I was just not in tune with what was going on. I just went along with this fairy tale that we had going on. So now, from my own experience living through that, I can never look at someone's picture together on Instagram and ever think or say their goals, because I know what goes on behind doors and I know a woman's strength sometimes
That's
is
that
not.
experience that we were
It's
talking
the
about earlier.
experience. I know that sometimes women go through things and they're hiding it through putting it out there to other people. I know it's not what it is. So for me personally, that's just through experience. Now, if I were in a relationship and let's say I post my significant other, I'm not overly doing it. You know, I don't want to make someone feel like, okay, because today I posted a happy picture of us, that you think that this is just what it is all the time, because it's not. And that's just what it is. So I feel like I feel like from time to time, because this is a society that we live in a social media world. And hey, like, if your significant other posts you and says, Rich, if you post Erica and say, you know what, this is my baby, like, this is my wife, I just think she's so beautiful, she's so hardworking, my queen, such a good mom. I'm pretty sure that would make Erica melt. But,
especially if you say my queen.
But you're not doing it all the time. So I just feel like when you do it from time to time, for me, that's when I look at couples and I'm like, you know, like, that was sweet. But when I start to see it all the time and every day,
so it actually gives you the opposite effect.
It does. Like, I'm just kind of like,
right
something
now.
must be wrong. But that's just from past experience. Not to say that it is, but I just feel like privacy is peace. That's just how I feel.
Hey, that's a bar. Say that again.
Nika's preach.
Privacy is peace. So I feel like the most private couples and the most private people are the most peaceful people.
Oh, God.
That's what I've learned. I'm very private now, and it's just because I'm very at peace, versus when I was out there and like, ooh, like, look at me, look at us.
Look, we went on a date tonight.
I wasn't really at peace. I was just wanting attention because I wasn't at peace. I wanted someone to validate.
That's very honest to say that. You say you wanted attention.
I wanted attention because I wasn't
really
happy.
what it be. That's really what it be, because people post all these things just to get a reaction. Like, you gotta be honest with yourself. Like, when you're on a date with your significant other, and you post a picture.
Focus. Put the phone down.
That part, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you really like you're in the moment, you're dived into it. Like, the phone ain't coming out.
No.
The phone is gone. Like, y'all really living in the moment. So a lot of times people they post all this shit, and it's just like, is it really for y'all or is it for them?
Listen,
You know what I'm saying?
now in my past that relationship that I was in, now in my dating phase, I have been on plenty of dates. And I don't think you guys have seen one of those dates with that person. You haven't. On
so
my social media.
Are you the girl that posted a picture of the food and got the date that paid for it?
No, not even that. No, I have never, when I was with him on a date, I don't think Erica has ever seen on my Instagram a post from that day that I was with him in that moment. I never picked up my phone to take a picture of my food or wherever we were at just to post it.
Because she really doesn't need to. I would only... Like, I would have no clue if she never told me.
No, she wouldn't.
I would not know.
And that's my question, though. Like, so is that...
And
again,
I think
I'm in
that's
a different
actually
situation.
really dope.
Again, me and Erica, we're in a different situation. So it's like, I think it would, if people looked at my Instagram and didn't know I was married, I would be like, there's a problem there.
Well, okay, on the contrary.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a little bit different.
But Nika, let me just say, though, because we're married in 2021, it's like this whole thing. When Richard, he has a joke. Like, when he text messages me, I don't really respond. But when he DMs me, I respond.
That's a true story.
Because I have like
FOMO. That's what I be wanting to know.
Because I have FOMO and like I want to be part of the time.
I got your number. Like,
but when Richard messages me on Instagram, I always respond. When he text messages me, I may not see it right away. But anyways, the whole thing is that
y'all stay on my wife's DMs.
I kind of like that he did. This is so weird. It might be low-key toxic, but I kind of like that he does not post me as much now. Mm-hmm. Not saying don't ever post me, but I kind of like that your Instagram is more focused on you and even Carter, more so than posting me, because I kind of feel like when we post each other, like people just run with it. Like we have this perfect marriage. And it's like, it's for people to me at this point. But when you tell me in private, like you just, well, it wasn't private, but when you just said my queen, like that means more to me than you posting a picture. Like, I like that more. Like, I like it when you DM.
Richard just looked at her and took a mental note.
But that's what I was saying.
Took a mental note.
Screenshot.
But that's what I was saying. It's like, because you guys are really in real life like
That
in
part.
love.
Real
like,
life.
I see
Real
you guys
life.
more in real life than on Instagram. So I know what you guys have in real life. So it's kind of like when you have something real in real life, you don't feel the need to overly post about it and show it. I feel like when people post things, most of the time it's because they want attention. Just like when you're posting your business, you want attention to your page, right? So you can get sales.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you're always posting your relationship or whoever, and I'm not talking husband and wife, but when you're always posting who you're dating, this is from a single, I guess you can say, standpoint. It's just, to me, it's
when
like,
we say single people, we just mean not married.
Not married.
Yeah.
So there you go, not married. It's like, ooh, look at me. Like, I'm happy. I'm going on dates. This is goals. Like, you see me, somebody likes me, somebody, like, really? Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, you know, like.
Because certain pictures,
That's a good
like,
point,
you
though.
don't know what happened right before that picture was taken.
No, that's a great point.
It's like, you can see someone on vacation and think they had the time of their life, whatever, but you don't know if they were really happy on their vacation. Like, you don't know the facts behind it, and social media has become like a show, like a showmanship. Like, show me, like, people put their best foot forward on social media.
It's just like Sweetie and Quavo, whatever. They were Quavo.
I figured out why he broke up with her. Did y'all know?
Why?
Because she eat weird.
No.
Anyways,
The fuck?
they were always
You see her McDonald's menus, bro?
relationship goals to people for the longest.
Even to me, I thought.
I'm not the woman. You'll never ever. I'm sorry. Even Sierra and Russell, I love them, but you will never see me post a couple like goals, because just like Sweetie and Quavo, they were being posted all the time by people. Goals, and then a week later, after you posted that they were your goals, here they are broken up, because you don't know what people are going through. I was them before. I was them. People, I can pull up pictures now of people underneath my comments saying, you guys are goals, and then a week later, boom, that's it.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good point, because it goes to the reason I wanted to bring it up, because I always thought that it was interesting when, like, the guy or a girl never posts the person that they're with, so they try to appear as if they're single, but then I always look it back. So I'm a big fan of the Breakfast Club. So there's two guys on the Breakfast Club, and one is DJ Envy. DJ Envy, his wife's all over the place. He posts her everywhere, blah 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 blah. They're super in love. And then you have Charlamagne, who, if you Google Charlamagne and his wife, you probably can't find a picture, but they've been married and together forever.
Like 5
Do you guys know that J. Cole is married?
Yes.
I love that.
I actually Googled his wife this week.
I love that they're married, and people don't know that this man is married, and you don't hear.
Is that good or bad though? That's the question.
He made a song
I
talking
think
about
it
his love.
depends on.
He also made a song saying the last time he cheated on her. So it's like,
No, I did not
I think
hear that
it
song.
depends on the
Listen to
person
the album.
that you are, though. Like, for me, I've grown and I've matured into my privacy and liking that and enjoying that. So when I see men like J. Cole that are actually married, that are not, I feel like, like sometimes he could put her out there, whatever. But for the most part, it's there that they're married. People know that.
If you know him, you know that. Like, I'm a super J. Cole fan, so I know that from music, and I listen to interviews and tap in on stuff like that. So, but from hearing what you're saying in terms of people posting their significant other just for attention, I think that that's super important, because hearing that kind of gives me a different perspective on it, because you get the J. Coles of the world and like even the Charlamagnes of the world, to where it's like they love their wives, like they're in love with their wives, and they're not all over the place, and it's like that is a good thing. And I don't know if it's a good thing, but it's a thing.
It just depends on who you are.
Again,
if you're a
it's
private
perspective.
person or a public person,
Yeah,
it just
exactly.
depends, really.
It boils down to that, because some people, they want to be public, some people want to be private. People have to also remember that IG is nothing but just the highlights of somebody's life.
Facts.
It doesn't show when you fucked up, like you stressed out, you're depressed. Like, you're not posting when you're down. You only post when you up.
Facts.
So when people go to IG and see all these happy pictures, it's like you said, you don't know what that couple went through. And it's like, for me personally, like, I never really been the type of person to post who I'm dating or in a relationship or whatever too often. Like, it really depends on what the feeling is as far as that relationship. What's the vibe? So when things get serious, like most women, they tend to want to be posted and be shown. And I forget who mentioned it earlier, but it's like a validation thing. And it's just like, are you really doing? And my thing is like, I'm a very logical person, so I'm like, is this for us or is it for them? Like, what exactly where, like, I don't, like, it doesn't make sense to me. So I'm like, and then aside from that, it's like, I hate when, like, you get in a relationship and then you break up with somebody, then you gotta delete all them fucking pictures. It's like,
that's so
and
lame.
It's just like, and it's just like,
That
man,
is lame.
You know what I'm saying? It's lame to delete the pictures.
I just feel like it's so lame. I mean, I don't know what that's like, but I'm being judgmental.
I was gonna say it better not be lame. Because if I'm with somebody, you got some old
over
pictures,
it.
you better delete them because what you hold that memory for?
Yeah, it's just like,
You need to delete the
When you're
memory of the
over something,
relationship.
you're over it. Like,
I don't know.
I've
I've been out of the game for a really long time.
Yeah, so it's just like when you detach from that situation, it's just like, okay, I got.
You're happy to move on though. That's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
people don't understand. Like, sometimes when you break up with somebody, it's not always like a sad thing. Like,
No.
sometimes it's the opposite effect. Like, you know what? This is a new
I'm
beginning.
cool with a
for
lot of
me.
my exes,
I'm ready
to be
to
honest.
clear out my Instagram. New beginnings for me.
Yeah.
So it's not always like I'm
Bad
not ready
thing.
to do this thing.
Yeah,
you
one of
know?
my favorite quotes, I forgot who said it, so I can't give them no credit. But it was where they said that there's no great marriage that ended in divorce. And it's like, I guess it's kind of the same thing like when a relationship. There's no great relationship that ended with breaking up. So it's like you should erase that person out of your life. But I also want to wrap up. I think this was a amazing episode. I think we got into some really good conversations. I do want to say, I'm gonna just be transparent because that's what we do here at He Said She Thinks. Our guest today, I didn't know her too well. I know her, like she's always around in terms of like I know her son and everything.
Oh yeah.
But
Our
I
kids
do
are like
not.
best friends.
They
Yeah,
are.
exactly.
We were like baby bump buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
exactly.
yeah.
But I didn't know the opinions and the thoughts of Nika. So I was a little bit nervous about this episode. So I can say that I'm pleasantly surprised. I honestly was like, she even like tried to like apply pressure to me. She was like pointing and getting real aggressive. I was like, hold up.
With the gun finger.
Yeah, I was
Trigger
like-
finger.
God.
I was looking at Erica. I was waiting for Erica to bust back. I was like, you better shoot her. Hold me down. But I say that to say it was a great conversation.
Yeah.
So it was a pleasure having you.
Thank you for
And
having
you are welcome
me.
back anytime
Awesome.
you want. So if you ever have something that you want to be like, you know what? I want to talk about this on the podcast. We're going to get that going.
I had a good time, and like I was telling them before we started the podcast, people don't really initially think of me as assertive or outgoing. I can come off as shy and
She
very
came off as
reserved,
shy and started
and I
buzzing.
am.
I always knew.
I am, but I do open up, and you know, I am a private person. I think that that's the thing about me is that I'm private, and but I have had a lot of experiences. I've been through a lot, so I have a lot to speak on. And I think that that's the side that people get to know about me when they start to ask. So I'm glad I was able to speak on what I did today, and I had fun.
Good,
We're
good,
so
good.
glad
So
to
glad
have
you had
Nika
fun.
on the show.
Come back again. Come back again.
Definitely do that. All minds clear? Any other
Yes.
final thought from anybody? No? Simmons, you solid?
Make sure you follow us at our handles. Make sure
Oh, yeah.
you
See, that's what
like,
you do.
subscribe, and share on any platform or whatnot. My handle Simmons_ the creative. Y'all can plug
Yeah,
yours.
y'all could do y'all plugs real quick. So we got Simmons.
We got Instagram handles, right?
And, I mean, whatever you got. What else? To all your socials.
Oh, yeah,
What you got
and then-
coming?
Go to my
like
page.
I said, go ahead.
Real quick, you can go check out my store, www.sxmmnzcorner.com. I'm fucked up, but
Wait, what?
You'll just.
It's going. We're gonna have all the information.
If you put XS,
All the
Wait,
tags
what?
will be inside
like
of the
A, B, C,
description.
D, E, F, G.
that's Simmons. Follow me.
I was like, wait,
they played.
they're
To a whole
shooting at me
song.
right now. They shooting at me right now.
That's it. Let's follow.
Well,
And if you ever need photography and videos and podcasts content created, I'm your boy.
Boom.
and then we got lovely Nika. So I'm boring. I only have Instagram, but it's all right. So LOVE. Wait, did I spell that right? Now you got me tripping, and I'm not drunk. So
the
we
alphabet game
got.
for
I'm
real.
smart. Watch this. So we got
Hey, y'all, she said she's smart, but she writing her name down on a piece of paper.
Literally right. I'm not even drunk. I'm just a little tipsy. I just couldn't think clearly real quick.
Listen, so LOVELYNEKAA.
She's writing her own name down on a piece of paper to tell you how to
Lovely,
spell it. I'm just saying.
And Richard will tag everything.
Pastor Kavasi.
And
Bombshell
wait,
Beauty.
I'm gonna say
Her brand,
What is
So-
Bombshell Beauty?
Bombshell Beauty brand, they're beauty cosmetics. So right now we're focusing all on the eyes. So eyelashes and some glitter eyeshadow. So follow for that because you'll love it. So Bombshell Beauty brand. Everything is spelled normal. Follow. Thank you.
Boom. And then
And then we have Erica Miss Carter, which is ERICAMSCARTER for your lifestyle, fitness, beauty. And then we have glam.lux, L-U-X-E, .fitness for your fashion brand, bringing you glam, luxury, and fitness vibes.
boom. And it's your boy, that guy, Rich Ivy. Hit me on the gram and everything else. And then also make sure you follow us on Instagram. He said, she thinks. And as always, well, which will be always, I'm gonna leave you with a little quote because I love quotes. For this week, it's gonna be start rewarding inconsistency with unavailability. Don't let that go over your head.
Bar.
Ooh,
He said she thinks.
Okay.
Boom.
That was a good one.
Out you.